Good evening. Around 30,000 people have now been reported missing after two huge earthquakes struck near the Venezuelan capital, Caracas. The official number of dead stands at 164, with around 1,000 people injured, but it's feared those numbers will rise dramatically. As rescuers try to find survivors among the rubble of collapsed buildings, their efforts are being hampered by several aftershocks. The South American country was struck shortly after 6 p.m. local time. The two quakes hit an area surrounding Caracas. The United States Geological Service says the first magnitude 7.2 earthquake hit the northern part of Yaracuy state, about 190 miles west of the capital, and was followed less than a minute later by a magnitude 7.5 tremor in the same region. This report from our international correspondent John Sparks contains footage showing the moment a building collapses, which you may find distressing.
It started gently, said one, and then it grew and grew. The earth ruptured in Venezuela by two powerful earthquakes. The gap between the first and second, just 39 seconds. Shocked and bewildered, the residents of the capital spill out onto the streets. This man is looking for his mother, Maria. Come here, he cries. It was a national holiday. Many were at home enjoying their lunch when flats, shacks, and tower blocks began to move and shake. This is the coastal strip in La Guaira on the Caribbean Sea, much of it reduced to rubble. The remains of a 4-star hotel now sits on top of the glass-fronted reception. Here, a resident films from his balcony, capturing the cries of despair and terror from this devastated coastal community. These quakes are the most powerful to hit the country in a century. And we see the violent energy they produced sweeping through the capital's international airport. It's shaking, says this man, a local politician. Look at the damage in the airport. See how everything has been ruined. And the terminal is cloaked in rubble and dust. And the main runway, now inoperable. The Venezuelan government declared a state of emergency. And in a televised address, acting President Delcy Rodriguez urged doctors and nurses to report immediately to work. Yet, in the immediate aftermath, local residents were forced to fend for themselves. And many look stunned. Others begin the search for friends and loved ones with their bare hands. This disaster follows years of economic and political turmoil in Venezuela, and the state is poorly placed to handle a crisis of this magnitude. Here, rescue workers and volunteers pull one dust-covered survivor from the ruins near Caracas, but they are taking a risk.
Volunteers can have the will to go and help, but they can also put themselves in danger. So it's a very tricky situation. I would say that considering the enormous, the size of the tragedy, the fact that there are a lot of police officers, National Guard trying to help, and a lot of volunteers, it shows that everyone now is trying to help.
The scale of the damage and the number of casualties remains unclear, but well over 100 have lost their lives, and the death toll is expected to rise sharply. John Sparks, Sky News.
And local journalist Rosalie Hernandez is in Caracas and joins me now. Thank you very much for being with us. And just first of all, tell us your experience. What did you see and hear and feel, Rosalie, when the quake struck?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of noise. Good afternoon for you. Good afternoon for me. Well, it was a really shocking situation because I'm 35 years old. I have never lived a situation like that. I was in a popular neighborhood in Caracas, San Agustin, de esa barriada, where they have taken place some festivities. Yesterday, I have the opportunity to see how the people react for something that is not known for them. There was a lot of chaos. All the people were trying to understand what was happening. After the first earthquake stopped, immediately, 39 seconds later, another one, a stronger one, hits again. So all the people were really disturbed. They didn't know what to do. So it was a really heartbreaking situation because, as you can see right now behind me, there's a lot of volunteers and a lot of national forces trying to recover some bodies. You know, from now, they are only trying to see how many people is under the rubbles. So it's a really, really sad situation.
Yeah, an awful situation. Just describe the scale of the damage. How bad is it? How widespread is it?
Yeah, we can see it for some. Right now, I'm in Los Palos Grandes. Is in the east of the city. This area, this neighborhood is really sensitive because all the infrastructure is really old. There's no any policy to maintain in the city, and not even in this place. As you can see, there is a building that has been collapsed, but nearby is another one that's just about to one more earthquake, and it is going to collapse also. So the situation is quite big. You can see a lot of people trying to understand what is happening. Earlier, the mayor of Chacao, el municipio de Chacao, informed that has been damages around 80% of the buildings around the area. So you can see it is only 20% left to see how it's going to serve those places. To give shelter for all those people that right now are homeless and have no information what is going to happen in the next days.
Right, and how prepared are the authorities for a disaster on this scale?
Well, I can tell you with all responsibility that there's a lot of willing to help. Everybody wants to help. In here, you can see a lot of people. You can see the National Guard, and you can see all the volunteers. But there is not enough equipment to assume this situation. A lot of construction workers has come here with trucks and cars trying to do something for the people who remains in those robbers. So I think that one thing that we can highlight of the situation is that willing to help, even though they don't have don't have much resources to absorb the situation. Yeah. But you can see that there's a lot of people bringing water and I don't know, a lot trying to contain the situation. I think there's a lot of help right now.
Right. So just finally, Venezuela clearly, Rosalie, Venezuela clearly needs help from the international community.
Yeah, of course. Last night, Delcy Rodriguez informed that there has been approved about $2,000 million to help to try to buy some survey to to all the most affected area, but I don't think that it's going to get soon into the capital because the airport has been also has a lot of damage. There's the gate to the city, to the capital. So it's going to be a really difficult situation. Maybe they are going to habilitate helicopters, I don't know, some aerial help to reach all those all those places that need immediate help.
Okay, Rosalie, thank you very much for talking to us. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you again.
And at around 5:30, I'll be talking to the director of the US Geological Survey's Earthquake Science Centre. Now, the UK's heat record for June lasted 50 years until it was broken yesterday. Yesterday's record lasted less than 24 hours.
encendido. La guaira se partió por la mitad, mamá, huevo. Mato, lo que la sombra. Venga, no de la vida. Malísimo. Pero es malísimo. Mira. Agarra solo, ¿no?
Está bien, gracias a Dios, yo estoy aquí todavía trabajando.
Yo me parece que la acabo de ir porque se lo llevaron para una
Aquí para que cargue todo.
Mira, que sabe Juan Pablo y Leandro que allá nada, y ellos tenían que estar también. En la buena están varias gente, para ir no hacer nada, Dame llamar a Pedro a ver si lo ha visto por ahí.
¿Qué prefiere, la banana o la
¿Quién sabe cuándo cuenta de ese chiste así?
Oiga, te imaginas todo el tiempo cargando una cambura en el bolso para eso.
Rápido. Vente, que van a traer un refrigerio ahorita, no te vayas. ¿Qué nivel Maribel? Sí, tenemos la alcaldesa ahora.
Por eso no me he matado otra vez a usar la cámara.
Ah, pero no dice que Raíz estudió, ahora no quieren a nadie allá abajo.
Están allá,
Pero están comunicados. No,
Papi, y los petitos para que Elena.
ya parece motorizada caraqueña.
tatuaje.
O sea, venga, que habla.
El tatuaje.
Viejo, sabemos que usted es bien bonito.